All right, peace and love. Welcome to Our Mother's Way channel. This is Imara Ifawuyi. I am chilling in the car. It has just been, listen, I'm sorry I've been away for a while, y'all. It has been a rough few weeks. I ended up with some major health crises that I had to get through. And as you know, that in this day and time, with everything that's going on, it's just something way extra layer of stress I have to deal with. But you know, we're getting through it, and yeah, it's real in the field right now. I'm like, I've been kind of laying low. I got off of Facebook for a while, and really have just been kind of drawing my energy inward because of, you know, what has been happening with me. And also just because I try to listen, I try to stay attuned. So if I get the message or spirit or my ancestors tell me that I need to, you know, draw in, that's what I'm going to do. And so one of the places where I saw a lot of my energy being kind of drained and lost was by way of Facebook. So I pulled off of there. I'm not super active on Instagram, and I'm probably most active on YouTube, but more as a passive, watcher. And, you know, I just wanted to just connect again with my audience here on Our Mother's Way and just talk to you a little bit about what's going on, because I feel like right now we got to be real clear. Things are reaching kind of a tipping point, I think, with this whole scare around this so-called virus and all of this stuff that's taking place, that really has, what I've seen more than anything, put more fear in the hearts of people than it has anything else. I'm not seeing people dropping like flies everywhere. I live on a small island in the middle of the Caribbean, you know, St. Croix, Virgin Islands. They said there's been 6 deaths. We don't even know what these people have even died for, if we're honest about it, because I think we know there has not been truth in reporting across the board. And it's just too many question marks. And so, and then at the same time, the government where I'm at has ordered that we wear these masks everywhere we go. Every time we go into business, we have to have a mask on. I mean, parts of America, in the United States, plenty of states and governors have not ordered this kind of extreme measure. And it's just silly, you know. Really, people they wanna be Nazis and tell you how you're supposed to wear your mask when you're walking around, not knowing someone like me who just went through what I went through and trying to stabilize blood pressure and different things like that. And I have no business wearing a mask over my nose and mouth. It's actually bad for you, you know. So there's so many things that are happening, and people are so lost, and they're grasping for this and grasping for that. And you know, the thing that's been ringing out in my mind a lot lately, there's a Ben Franklin quote. And you know, I'm not into quoting none of these so-called founding fathers and nothing like that, but I like the quote. And the quote, I don't know it word for word, but it's basically that those who are willing to sacrifice or give up freedom for security and safety deserve neither. You know. And so for me right now, it's like, decide what side you're on. And do you want to maintain and continue to have what they call your constitutional rights and be able to have somewhat a semblance of a free life? Or are you willing to give that up so that the government can make you feel safe with all of these, you know, different moves, these drugs, these vaccinations, these different things that they're trying to bring on board, that they claim are going to make life on Earth more safer? And it's like, is it worth it? Is it real? Can we trust these individuals to make decisions about our safety and our health? You know what I mean? Do they even have a track record of being about safety and the health of the people? That none of that stuff can be. If you check historically, there's no government that has been tied into really protecting the health and safety of people, particularly when we talk about the U.S. Yeah, you might find some governments in the world, different parts of the world, where they are more oriented towards, you know, their people and the people of that nation. But certainly the U.S. has no track record of that at all. And so here we are putting our faith and our devotion into thinking that they are now being honest about what's happening with this so-called sickness, that they are now reporting honest numbers, that they're now making and taking measures that are going to protect us from harm, from sickness, from dishealth. that all of these kind of what they call draconian measures, these you have to wear masks. Now they want to start this thing called contact tracing, where people are, basically being paid to snitch on other people around them in regards to their potential health concerns, and the concerns around the households of these people and the makeup of the households. I mean, it is so much stuff going on right now that it's like, yo. So right now, and again, I made this video because I want to say, choose which side you're on. If you are rolling with the fear, if you're rolling with the fear mentality and the whole energy of the government is trying to help us, trying to tell us what we need to do so we can be safe, and I'm not gonna go veer outside of that, because if I veer outside of that, that means I gotta think too much, I gotta do too much research, I gotta clear my mind of all the programming that has been put in me since I got here. You know what I mean, on this planet, that's telling me that this is right and that is right and this is right and that is right. This is wrong. That is wrong. Basically everything that's been put inside of us has been a program, from everything we learned from our parents, from the government, from the school systems, from everything. It's like, it's surprising some of us still have our own authentic thoughts and are able to still channel and be intuitive, because we got so many layers and this overlay of mess, that is coming up and popping up, and it just runs in the background. It's just there. And we have to really decide, listen, am I going with this program? Am I rolling with this? Am I going to let them take me into this next kind of artificial world that they're trying to move us into? Or am I going to stay with nature? I'm going to stay with, out of the fear mentality, and know that no matter where, you could take my body, you could take whatever it is, but you can't take, that part of me that is... that I don't give you, that is in the unseen, the soul, or the spirit. You can't have that, and so these are the things that we need to focus on, because like I said, it's like a tipping point now, because you have so many people. We've been in this thing for a few months now. They still have not been able to really prove that it's even real. Still, there's so many people that have clamped onto it as being real out of fear, and they've just been brainwashed to that degree. And so now you have all of this confusion, people who don't even know where they are in time and space, really. Our whole lives have been slowed down to a halt. It's frowned upon and looked at as negative to be social, to interact with other people. So most people are in a lot of isolation right now. You have people dealing with mental illness out here, and depression, and heavy levels of mental sickness that's coming on them from this artificial lifestyle that we're living, and this, social, non-social lifestyle, all for something that has not been shown to be real, you know. And I'm just saying this, like I said, I'm not spending my time posting on Facebook and all these places no more, where people just love to project all their ignorance and their willful ignorance around. I do feel like there's more conscious-minded people that are kind of prevalent on YouTube. So I don't mind, coming to YouTube and bring forth my thoughts about things here and there. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. Doesn't matter what nobody else thinks. Doesn't matter, what kind of intel you've collected. None of us know the whole and complete picture of what's going on. None of us. I don't care how good a YouTube video is made, how many different things they layer into the video, how cute it is, how funny it is, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. The only thing matters right now is that you inside yourself are clear about, what you want to be a part of, the artificial or the natural. There's a woman that I'm not going to get into her name, and I'm really not even wanting to promote channels and stuff like that right now. But there's a woman that I, follow on YouTube, and I like her. She's very simple. Her platform, she used to do a lot of videos, but now she's gone into just more posting. You know how people will do the posts after they reach 1,000 subscribers. So she does a lot of posting of really thought-provoking, ideas, and, she just talks about where your alignment is. Where are you? Are you with the artificial? Are you with the AI? Are you with nature? Choose, really. And so, and it's as simple as that, just right now, and then live that and be about that. So even with me, it's even a compromise for me to have to even go into a shop with a dumb mask on my face. I just think it's the stupidest thing. You know what I mean? It's fake. The way they talk about viruses in general is fake. The whole so-called rampant disease that's spreading around. The whole thing is fake. So I feel silly having to be a part of it because I want to go get some freaking, greens in the store, which I really should be with my farmers anyway. But with what I've been dealing with, I've had to keep it close to home. I can't go all over the island and do everything I want. So, keeping it close to home, trying to go in the store, you got people berating you about your mask not being over your nose as if you don't need to breathe in oxygen. You know what I mean? So it's just the levels of stupidity that we're encountering right now. And I'm just prayerful, that basically, hi sis, that prayerfully, folks will start to wake up. I mean, basically, that they start to wake up, and that's what it is. I'm just praying that people will start to recognize things for what they are, and be real. You know. So I just seen my landlord just arrive. That's why I was looking up, like, okay, she want to talk to me. But yeah, if any of y'all can let me know. I'd be curious to hear a little bit about what experiences you all have in different states, different parts of the world in terms of this whole lockdown thing that we've been forced into. What is it like where you are? If you could post down below what it's like where you're at. Like I said, here on St. Croix, USVI, kind of weird, kind of in between. We're still very tied into the U.S. This is still a U.S. territory. For me, they're doing too much. I mean, there's states in America where people are pretty much, have a lot of their, freedoms back in a certain type of way, at least for right now. And here we are having to wear masks and all of this strange behaviors. And even really like in Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico had one of the most hardcore lockdowns in the whole U.S. territories and area. So, these are some things to think about, like why, we're on these little islands. But I feel like, some of the measures have been kind of strong. But ultimately, I don't feel like I'm in a heavy prison kind of energy here. We still are able to drive around, go where we want. The beach access has been reinstated. They did remove that for a couple of weeks. And, I don't feel like a heavy oppression. But my question is, okay, now when they talk about this next round, this next uprising of this so-called illness coming on, so what kind of excuses are they going to use for why that's happening? Oh, because we gave you guys more freedom, and now look what happens. So now we're going to really have to get tight with these measures. You know what I mean? So these are some of the things that we need to be thinking about. Are things going to open back up? Is there going to be a window that will allow for travel again? That will allow for people to get their passports if they had not or had let them expire prior to this? Are people going to be able to have the mobility to get to places they feel are safer if that's what they want to do? Will we have some kind of interim freedoms? Like I said, I really think this is just round one. There might be an opening, and then I feel like we're going to be going back into some next strangeness. So, thinking about where you are, where you stand and things, trying to put a plan together if you are dealing with, nature, and you're not going to just let things happen to you, but you want to really, really keep that connection to the natural world and to those of us who are natural beings. Thinking about a plan for yourself where you can live close to nature, where you can be dealing with growing your own and dealing with other people of like minds, and tribing up and considering where you're going to be doing that at. And is that something that you want to endeavor to do in the United States, in the Western world? Do you want to get back to Africa? What do you want to do? Some of the things I'm thinking about right now also have to do, my sister ES, that's one station and channel I always bring up, Eat, Love, Migrate. She's living in North Ghana, and she had a really interesting show the other day with a sister named Sister Ya, about one type of kind of cryptocurrency program. But I have been thinking more about crypto again. At one point in 2018, I had gotten heavy into it for several months. And I was always a little ambivalent. I mean, on some hands, I'm like, at least it's an alternative to what we know is a falling dollar. But then on the other hand, it's like, yeah, but what is it too? But I did make a good bit of money dealing with the crypto before it kind of crashed out. At that time, I think it was either in early 2019 or late 2018 when it crashed. And then, it's going to be going through its cycles and what have you. But yeah, I'm kind of looking at that again. I'm looking at, what it's going to take to get land, what it's going to, luckily my mate has access and has land and property and stuff. But what is it going to take for me and my family to have land, and to be clear about where we want to be? You know what I mean? We need to be clear about where we want to be. Should we be in Africa? It's been a while since we've been out there, but is that the place where we can find the most safety? Just thinking about all of these things. So, y'all, if again, share down below what your experience is, what's going on where you're at, or anything that's on your heart about it. Feel free to share. I'm going to try to do more videos. I just wanted to do that check-in and just kind of say what's on my heart. I do have my glasses on, excuse me. Like I said, I've gone through some health scares and my eyes have been looking a little weak and stuff, so I just decided to cover them. Plus, it's really bright out here. But yeah, many blessings to everyone. Stay safe, take care of yourself. Stay boosting, stay cleansing, stay fasting, stay meditating, stay focused on this inner world and the messages that's coming through that, because that's the only thing we have right now, and even being caught up in social media and all of these things, it's all good. We learn what we learn and we are able to gather intel and everything, but at the end of the day, nothing overrides this. And this right here is what allowed me to know, no matter what was happening and being said in the media, I knew that everything that was coming down the line was, fake, and was arbitrarily created based upon this need for these entities to try to control masses of people. And I never had or wavered in that, not one moment since this is taking place. And now I'm watching everybody coming on board about it and starting to realize it. So that connection there is what it keeps me going and keeps me knowing the timing of when and where and what and how to move. So yes, many blessings, y'all, from VI. Peace and love.